Um, as many of you, I've told this time many times when I have filled the pulpit for Paris, but my first ministry was in a little small rural congregation. We were off the Blacktop Road. 3 hills over was one church, and the other one, when you came over a hill, you saw the other church in the valley. And one of the things that we did every year was to have a hog roast. And we'd have an outdoor service with that. We'd also have another Sunday, we had a community service. And one year it was held at the school football field. Thank you. It was held at the football field. And there was actually an actor that came dressed in garb and pretended to be David's grandfather, Obed, and tell the story of Obed. So it's a time to be a little bit laid back and have a little bit of fun and do something different. So I have 2 readers assisting me this morning, Mary Underhill and Beth Lindquist. And we're looking forward to sharing with you the story of Jumping Mouse. Once, there was a young mouse who lived in the brush near a great river. During the day, he and the other mice hunted for food. At night, they gathered to hear the old ones tell stories. The young mouse liked to hear about the distant land, the land beyond the river. And he got shivers from the stories about the dangerous shadows that live in the sky. But his favorite was the tale of the far-off land. The far-off land sounded so wonderful, the young mouse began to dream about it. He knew he would never be content until he had been there. The old ones warned him that journey would be long and perilous. But the young mouse would not be swayed. He set off one morning before the sun had risen. It was evening before he reached the edge of the brush. Before him was the river. On the other side was the desert. The young mouse peered into the deep water.
How will I ever get across?
Don't you know how to swim?
The young mouse looked around and saw a small green frog.
Hello, what is a swim?
This is swimming,
said the frog as she jumped into the river.
Oh, I don't think I can do that.
Why do you need to cross the river?
Asked the frog as she hopped up the bank.
I want to go to the far-off land. It sounds too beautiful to live a lifetime and not see it.
In that case, you need my help. I'm Magic Frog. Who are you?
I'm a mouse.
That's not a name. I'll give you a name that will help you on your journey. I name you Jumping Mouse.
As soon as Magic Frog said, the young mouse felt a strange thing in his behind legs. He hopped a small hop, and to his surprise, he jumped twice as high as he'd ever jumped before.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Now, step into this leaf and we'll cross the river together.
When they were safely on the other side,
you will encounter the hardships on your way, but don't despair. You will reach the far-off land if you keep hope alive within you.
Jumping Mouse set off at once, hopping quickly from brush to brush. The shadows circled above, but he avoided being seen. He ate berries when he could find them and slept only when he was exhausted. Days passed. Though he was not able to travel quickly, he began to wonder if he'd ever reach the other side of the desert. He then came upon a stream that coursed through the dry land. Under a large berry bush, he met a fat old mouse.
What strange hind legs you have.
They were a gift from Magic Frog when she named me.
What good are they?
They've helped me come this far across the desert, and with luck, they'll carry me to the far-off land. But now I'm very tired. May I rest here a while?
Indeed you may. In fact, you can stay forever.
Thank you, but I'll stay only until I'm rested. I've seen the far-off land in my dreams, and I must be on my way as soon as I am able.
Dreams. I used to have such dreams, but all I ever found was desert. Why go jumping about the desert when everything you need is right here?
Jumping Mouse tried to explain that it wasn't a question of need, but something that he felt he had to do. But the fat mouse only snorted again. Finally, Jumping Mouse dug a hole and curled up for the night. The next day, the fat mouse warned him to stay on this side of the stream.
A snake lives on the other side, but don't worry. He's afraid of water, so he'll never cross the stream.
Life was easy beneath the berry bush, and Jumping Mouse was soon rested and strong. He and the fat mouse ate and slept, and then slept and ate. Then one morning when he went to the stream for a drink, he caught sight of his reflection. He was almost as fat as the old mouse.
It's time for me to go on. I didn't come all this way to settle down under a berry bush.
Just then, he noticed that a branch had gotten caught in the narrow of the stream. It spanned the water like a bridge. Now the snake could cross over. Jumping Mouse hurried back to warn the fat mouse, but the mouse hole was empty, and there was a strange smell in the air. Snake. Jumping Mouse was too late.
Poor old friend. He lost hope of finding his dream, and now his life is over.
Jumping Mouse traveled throughout the night, and the next morning he saw that he had reached a grassy plain. Exhausted, he hopped toward a large boulder where he could rest in safety. But as he got closer, he realized the boulder was an enormous, shaggy bison living in the grass. Every once in a while, it groaned. Jumping Mouse shivered at the terrible sound.
Hello, Great One. I'm Jumping Mouse, and I'm traveling to the far-off land. Why do you lie here as if you were dying?
Because I am dying. I drank from a poisoned stream, and it blinded me. I can't seem to find tender grass to eat or sweet water to drink. I'll surely die.
Jumping Mouse was sad to see so wondrous a beast, so helpless.
When I began my journey, Magic Frog gave me a name and strong legs to carry me to the far-off land. My magic is not as powerful as hers, but I'll do what I can to help you. I name you Eyes of a Mouse.
As soon as he had spoken, Jumping Mouse heard the bison snort with joy. He heard, but he could no longer see, for he had given the bison his own eyesight.
Thank you. You are small, but you have done a great thing. If you hop along beneath me, the shadows of the sky won't see you, and I will guide you to the mountains.
Jumping Mouse did as he was told. He hopped to the rhythm of the bison's hooves, and in this way he reached the foot of the mountains.
I am an animal of the plains, so I must stop here. How will you cross the mountains when you cannot see?
There will be a way. Hope is alive within me.
He said goodbye to his friend, and then he dug a hole and went to sleep. The next morning, Jumping Mouse woke to cool breezes that blew down from the mountain peaks. Cautiously, he set out in the direction of the coolness. He'd not gone far when he felt fur beneath his paws. He jumped back in alarm and sniffed the air. Woof! He froze in terror. But when nothing happened, he gathered up his courage.
Excuse me, I'm Jumping Mouse, and I'm traveling to the far-off land. Can you tell me the way?
I would if I could, but the wolf finds his way with his nose, and mine will no longer smell for me.
What happened?
I was once a proud and lazy creature. I misused the gift of smell, and so I lost it. I have learned not to be proud, but without my nose to tell me where I am and where I am going, I cannot survive. I am lying here waiting for the end.
Jumping Mouse was saddened by the wolf's story. He told him about Magic Frog and Eyes of a Mouse.
I have a little magic left. I'll be happy to help you. I name you Nose of a Mouse.
The wolf howled for joy. Jumping Mouse could hear him sniffing in the air, taking in the mountain fragrances. But Jumping Mouse could no longer smell the pine-scented breezes. He no longer had the use of his nose or his eyes.
You are but a small creature, but you have given me a great gift. You must let me thank you. Come, hop along beneath where the shadows of the sky won't see you. I will guide you through the mountains to the far-off land.
So Jumping Mouse hopped to the rhythm of the wolf's patting paws, and in this way, he reached the far-off land.
I am an animal of the mountains, so I must stop here. How will you manage if you can no longer see or smell?
There will be a way.
He then said goodbye to his friend and dug a hole and went to sleep. The next morning, Jumping Mouse woke up and crawled from his hole.
I am here. I feel the earth beneath my paws. I hear the wind rustling leaves on the trees. The sun warms my bones. All is not lost, but I'll never be as I was. How will I ever manage?
Jumping Mouse?
Magic Frog, is that you?
Yes, don't cry. Don't cry, Jumping Mouse. Your unselfish way has brought you a great hardship, but it is the same spirit of hope and compassion that has brought you to the far-off land. You have nothing to fear, Jumping Mouse. Jump high, Jumping Mouse.
Jumping Mouse did as he was told and jumped as high as he could. Then he felt the air lifting him higher still into the sky. He stretched out his paws in the sun and felt strangely powerful. To his joy, he began to see the wondrous beauty of the world above and below, and to smell the scent of earth and sky and living things.
Jumping Mouse, I give you a new name. You are now called Eagle, and you will live in the far-off land forever.
Amen. Thank you. One of the things that, as we reflect for a few minutes, we might want to reflect on what our gifts are. What are the things, big or small, that we could bring to help the life of our congregation? So I leave you with that thought.